Joining us now is Eve Samples, Executive Director of Friends of the Everglades, one of the environmental groups that's suing to block alligator Alcatraz. Eve, thanks for coming on the show. You know the Florida Everglades so well. What's at stake here?
So if America's national parks were one of the best ideas our country has ever had, this sure looks like one of the worst ideas in America. Let's review what's happened over the past week. The state and federal government, in cooperation, have seized a property in the heart of the Everglades. This site is within the oldest national preserve in the country, Big Cypress National Preserve, and a short distance away from Everglades National Park. They moved in construction equipment without any environmental review. We've seen fill trucks, asphalt trucks, and today they opened a mass detention center on the site, and we're fighting that in court.
So President Trump, just within the last hour, was asked about the potential environmental impact of the detention center. Here's what he said.
It's on top of something that was already developed. It's an airport. You know, you have the runways, you have so it's already been developed. So it's not like you're dropping dirt right into the thing. There was zero movement of that. That was done many years ago because the airport's very old. I don't think you've done anything to the Everglades. I think you're just enhancing it. This was already here.
Zero impact, he says, and in fact, making it better. If you could speak to the president, how would you respond to that?
We flat out reject that characterization. We have many concerns about the environmental impacts on this site, including light pollution, impacts on endangered species. The site is more than 96% wetlands. And yes, there is one runway out there right now. And the reason there's only one is because 56 years ago, Floridians banded together to stop an airport from being built on this very site. It's incredibly ecologically sensitive, and the federal law requires that a thorough economic impact analysis be completed before any activity of this type. So we're extremely concerned. We actually got photographs from a nearby Miccosukee residents last night showing intense light pollution 3 miles away. Where you once had incredible dark skies in the middle of the Everglades, it now looks like a stadium in the distance. So a lot of concerns, and this is exactly why the law mandates a review and what we're asking the court to require.
Talk about what it's like being there, because there's a lot of questions being raised about being intense, being in these makeshift trailers, what it would mean to the people who are actually being detained.
Sure. So I was out at the site about 10 days ago as part of a protest, a peaceful protest that hundreds of people gathered at, led by a Miccosukee tribe elder. It is incredibly hot in the summer in the Everglades. There are bugs, there's humidity, there are storms. And let's remember that we're entering hurricane season now, and the Everglades is made up of wetlands, interconnected wetlands, so an incredibly flood-prone area too. And again, there's been no public discussion or input on this proposal. We don't know what kind of flood mitigation has been done, and if any has occurred, there could be detrimental impacts to wetlands that are critical to the water supply for millions of Floridians.
We're out of time, but I do want to ask you if you have a sense from your lawyers how long this could take, because obviously, in the meantime, some of the concerns you have, the damage you think will be done, will be occurring. What do you think the timeline is here?
Yes, we're extremely concerned about the harm that could be caused by housing thousands of detainees in the heart of the Everglades. So on Friday, we filed a federal lawsuit asking a judge to issue an injunction to halt activity. We are eagerly awaiting the judge's response and honored to do this work. Friends of the Everglades was founded in 1969 to protect this very land by Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and we're honored to soldier on and optimistic that we can prevail.
Eve Samples, thank you so much.